is unique about visually impaired children is that they have needs that cannot be met completely by the standard school curriculum. The sighted do not avoid the company of the visually impaired. They share ideas at break time. I recommend that the visually impaired in my school should be treated equally as done at a Ekropong, where they have all the materials and resource persons needed. Ghana National Basic School teachers should be recognized and commended for their good work done.
Mr. Deputy, please, I have a message here for you. I said, Mr. Chairman, the most threatening challenge is lack of Braille textbooks for pupils and the print copies for the teachers. For the first time, Special Education Division has released transcribed social studies books.
I work with the Assessment and Resource Center, the only national assessment and resource center. We have clients coming in with their parents. Most of their problems are to do with acceptance, especially in private schools. And what we have to do is to follow up on these children's admission and convince the people in their schools to cope.
I've had the inclusive education from the onset. Even though at some point in time I was asked to stay home, having concluded my basic education, I was asked to go and learn a career by one or two persons in the society. But then my father was able to encourage me to put myself through. So the inclusive education is something that is necessary to help we the disabled to learn at least certain things from the able ones, and at least to feel part, that we are part of the society. If I look around, I can see that people with disability do not have any better place to occupy in terms of politics, education, even at the social realm, and so many, even at the economic field. People with disability are relegated to the background. So with looking at all these things, it has encouraged me to be at least a green light to help my people who are down there, so that at least they can learn something from me. So my coming down here is going to help me a lot to learn a whole lot of things from all people around here.
If we see a child with certain signs presenting, then those ones should be flagged up early to the health service system. See, this is where education and health must communicate as early as possible. Kernicterus, I explained earlier on, is having too much yellowness or jaundice going to your brain. Unfortunately, it's a big problem in Ghana. Kernicterus is not seen, is virtually not seen anymore in the Western world. But I can tell you that in Kolebo, for instance, where I work, virtually it's almost a daily occurrence to see a severely jaundiced baby. It's almost a daily occurrence. And nobody knows even what true level is safe in terms of your jaundice level. And it's sad because in our country, we name babies usually after 1 week. And so the mothers cover these babies. And they uncover them after 1 week only to discover they are very yellow before they bring them to hospital. Sadly, it has gone to their brain. They've developed what we call bilirubin encephalopathy, and then they will go on to disability.
The person with disability, the problem is society. We are causing the problems. We are making people disabled. And then we turn around, after we have disabled them, they will turn around to say that, oh, because you have a disability, you can't touch this, you can't go here, you can't go there. They will put impediments. And so we are saying that these impediments must be what? Removed. And that is what ENSCO is saying. Inclusion is about the presence. It's not just the presence, but the participation an achievement of all students. Every child, especially those with disabilities, must have individualized education plan. This plan is a written document. And this written document, it spells out the strengths and weaknesses of the child. Then we set out long-term goals for the child. So what is it that we want the child to be able to achieve maybe in 5 years' time?
In Ghana, the National Development Goals spelled out by the Education Committee and in other government policy documents, which specify issues and aspirations which are crucial for the survival and individual Ghanaian and the national development. Since society is dynamic, curriculum too should be what? Dynamic. Because it is based on it that it develops. So as education is changing, curriculum should change. What type of Ghanaian should we produce by the year 2020? So curriculum will have to address that. Thank you very much for your attention.
From now, if there is going to be something better for we the disabled, it will come down from the policy makers. So they should make good policies and to make sure that the policies are implemented down to zero so that at least we can achieve something better from it.
Do the policies capture the scope of inclusive education as stipulated in the United Nations Conventions? Children with mild and moderate disabilities and special educational needs, they should go to the mainstream school.
We should not look to the future, but we must look at what we have. So, in every situation that we have, as you said, once the normal children, the children we are going to, practice this particular inclusive with, already our children, the so-called ones, we haven't assessed them. That is why we call them normal. Now, when the inclusive is fully take place, all children should be assessed. And when you assess, then you see the children with special educational needs. But the very children we are teaching, that we are going to work with. So the system is already there.
I understand very well what I need to do to cater for all the special needs of every child in the school. I mean, what do I do? That's the issue. You are talking about, what we are talking about simply means that I have the capability to change the structures to suit every other person in the school. Am I correct?
Yes, but
I'm saying that I don't have the capability.
But you have the knowledge. You say you are head. Yes. And you have all the knowledge to implement the
Now, this workshop, I would say it's overdue, but at the same time, it's been timely because it's been almost 5 years since we started experimenting inclusive education on a pilot basis. And this workshop has afforded us the opportunity to at least to come out and then spell out some of the problems that has confronted the program so far. That is the inclusive education program so far. And then we are currently brainstorming to find solutions to them. So I believe this is not just a workshop to talk about disabled people, that is special needs children, but special needs children cover every manner of child who is marginalized. We believe all cannot be done within a year or within 2 years or whatever. But we have set ourselves that it must be achieved. And God willing, it will be achieved.